If you're familiar with the TV show Wild Kingdom, you're going to see some familiar faces on its newest series.
The show is filming at Mote Marine Lab and Aquarium to showcase its animals. SNN's Annette Gutierrez joins us live from there now. Good morning, Annette.
Good morning, ladies. Yes, I love waking up with animals, and what better way than to do it right here at Mote Marine Laboratory. And joining me is actually the host of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, the new show Protecting the Wild, Peter Gross. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
We're having such a good time filming here. We're talking about all the wonderful turtles have been hatched out here, the manatees have been helped, and the restoration and rehabilitation that's going on. We're so excited about our new show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Protecting the Wild, which launches January of 23. So, which is a perfect continuum of the original show that started in 1963. So this is our 60th anniversary with Mutual of Omaha, talking about protecting wildlife, educating people, and we're hoping to connect with the next generation and hope they'll make a commitment to help protect the natural world.
Very exciting. Yes, so you guys have adapted and changed the show over time, and it's just getting better and better every time, right? And this one's, like you mentioned, it's focused on conservation. And so why did you guys decide to come here to Mote?
Well, it's such a wonderful place to come and film because you have so many successful wildlife programs. There's such a citizen commitment here, it seems, where citizens are committed to help protecting the turtles that are nesting in their front yard on the beach, and they know when to turn the lights out at night when they're hatching. And when we were diving in Key West recently, we saw all this magnificent new elkhorn coral that has been grown at Mote Marine and planted, and we were able to go down and regraft some underwater and tell the story of that successful program as well.
Right, so you guys are doing the coral reef, you guys have the turtles and also the manatees, right?
Yes, and the manatees, of course, that's an interesting problem that people love to see manatee, and part of the problem is that people want to see manatee up close, which is the wrong thing to do. They need their space, even in kayaks. To close proximity is stressful for them, so if you're going to observe manatee, bring your binoculars and do it at a distance. What's unique about our show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Protecting the Wild, launching this coming January, is it's not a gloom and doom show. We're talking about species that have come off the endangered species list, like the crocodile, like the alligator, like the condors that is such a successful program. 15 were just released back to the wild. The success of you protecting turtles here. There's so many species that we don't hear about where we're able to intervene and help them, and in some cases, like the young green sea turtles are going to be released back here on Tuesday, back to the wild again. This is such an exciting thing for us at Mutual of Omaha to continue to be part of this.
Yes, and we're excited to see it. They are actually currently filming behind us. I don't know if you can see, but we will have more in the next half hour, talking with some wildlife experts and of course some Mote Marine Lab people as well. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Jenna, Kathy, back to you.
Well, if you're familiar with the TV show Wild Kingdom, you're going to see some familiar faces on its newest series.
The show is filming at Mote Marine Lab and Aquarium to showcase its animals. SNN's Annette Gutierrez joins us now live from there with much more. Good morning, Annette.
Morning.
Good morning, ladies. Yes, this is my favorite way to start the morning, right here surrounded with animals, and actually it's because of a pretty cool segment. A TV show called Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Protecting the Wild is filming right here to feature some animal success stories, and joining me is the host, Peter Gross. We'll start with him and then we'll work our way down. So first tell me about the difference between the original show back in the 1980s to now.
Well, it's incredibly exciting. The show that started running in 1963 talked about conservation issues then and took that information to people's living rooms on Sunday afternoon and affected so many people's attitudes about conservation needs and hopefully got them interested in helping. The manner in which they used to do research in those days involved sometimes capture, and that's how scientists studied in those days. Now we have remote cameras, we have heat sensing cameras, action cameras, we have all kinds of manners in which to film is less invasive, and sometimes the wildlife doesn't even know we're there. What we're hoping to do is connect with a whole new generation of people that will make the commitment. We want to see what they can do to help locally or maybe even at the national level. What's also unique is we're partnering with other wildlife conservation organizations like National Wildlife Federation with David here.
David, thank you for joining me. So you guys are along for the ride in some of the episodes, right? So talk to me about your role and how you guys are involved.
Sure, yeah. So the National Wildlife Federation, we're America's conservation organization, and we've teamed up with Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom to tell some of those wildlife conservation success stories. So whether it's the largest wildlife crossing over a busy highway out in California or closer to home, working on Florida panthers, we've been able to be featured on the new season. It's really exciting. We've actually worked with Mote before in the past, so we're all connected. It's pretty cool.
Right, and now we're back here to feature Mote and the sea turtles, manatee, and the coral reef that you guys have in the Keys. So talk to me about the conservation efforts that you guys have and what you guys are going to put out there on the show.
Yeah, so here at Mote, as we know on the Suncoast, we've been here for over 65 years dedicated to marine conservation in our area. And, you know, in addition to all the work we would do with sea turtle conservation, rehab and rescue, our manatee research, our coral reef restoration, Mote has always centered reaching out to the public. So for us, it's also really exciting to be able to share our stories with a large audience like this. You know, as someone who grew up watching the show, and that's why I got into this field, this is really full circle for us. People come to the aquarium and get inspired. They can watch programs like this to know what's happening in their backyard, learn about Florida natives, learn about wildlife around the world, and just really feel inspired to take action for wildlife.
Right, I mean, this is all really, really good stuff that we're doing here, right here in our backyard, like you mentioned. And this is positive stuff, like conservation efforts, something that we can also partake in as well. The show, if you guys want to watch it, will be premiering January next
23.
year.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Protecting the Wild on RFD TV. If they'd like to see original shows, they're running now on RFD TV. So we look forward to seeing everybody then.
All right, so you heard him. If you guys want to see the show, tune in next year. We'll have more in the evening edition on SNN, so don't go anywhere. But for now, reporting live here in Sarasota, Annette Gutierrez, SNN, the Suncoast News Network. Jenna, Kathy?